A young woman leaves for work as usual, but never clocks in.
It's just like she dropped off the face of the earth.
And police soon realize this is no ordinary missing persons case.
This one was a little different.
Because they say Shawndell McLeod has been stalked by an obsessed former lover right up until the day she disappeared.
Shawndell was afraid.
And she said, Mommy, I never begged so much for my life.
35-year-old Shawndell was the special sixth of Vanishes McLeod's 9 children.
She was loved by her brothers.
And the creative one.
She had loved to dance and sing.
Shawndell also loved to cook and turned it into a good-paying career working as the head chef at an Atlanta nursing home.
She had bought a house, then bought a new car.
A car that would disappear along with Shawndell when she left her home to drive to work early one Sunday morning.
Soon as I hear she didn't show up to work, I know something wrong.
Shawndell's mother becomes even more concerned when her daughter also fails to turn up later at the family's weekly Sunday night dinner.
I did not sleep that night.
No one else who knew Shawndell had seen her or heard from her either. And after she's reported missing, police would learn Shawndell hadn't used any debit or credit cards, nor made any text or calls.
Her phone wasn't even pinging. I even pinged her phone.
And everything points to foul play when that phone isn't in Shawndell's car, which had been found abandoned about 40 miles from her home.
Well, I knew within a few days this was more than just a missing person case.
DeKalb County PD Detective H. Guest theorizes Shawndell was snatched as she left her house.
It was somebody that abducted her right there.
And it's not long before detectives have a person of interest.
That would be Joyce.
Joyce Pelzer, a fellow nursing home employee they said had a frightening obsession with Shawndell.
Well, I interviewed a lot of people. Between 3 or 4 of them told me that Shawndell was very afraid of this lady.
Detective Guest says Joyce had reportedly fallen in love with Shawndell at first sight. And Shawndell would enter in what's believed to have been her first romantic relationship with a woman.
She said she wanted to try a gay lifestyle.
Joyce would eventually move into Shawndell's home.
It was going good for a few years.
But Shawndell's mom says her daughter had grown unhappy.
She said, Mommy, I wanted to have children.
Joyce is said to have been furious when Shawndell told her she wanted to break up.
She didn't take it nice.
She didn't want to give her up.
And Joyce is said to have told friends she wouldn't let Shawndell go without a fight.
She was hers. She'll do anything to keep her.
It would culminate with Joyce allegedly threatening to end both their lives in a murder-suicide.
Shawndell told me that Joy tell her she gonna kill her.
Police say Joyce had fled before they arrived at the scene, but warrants were issued for her arrest for allegedly assaulting Shawndell.
This is a few weeks before she went missing.
And police say Joyce continued to stalk Shawndell, even staking out her home late at night.
She used to sit outside and watch the house.
Detective Guest says Shawndell had a new boyfriend who was spending nights at her house for protection.
And she was so afraid the guy bought her a gun.
And when Shawndell suddenly goes missing, Joyce is among the first brought in for questioning.
She denied everything.
Detectives, however, would arrest Joyce on that outstanding assault warrant and also charge her with lying to them about her alibi for the day Shawndell vanished.
Since she said she was at work and she wasn't.
But now, almost 7 years since Shawndell disappeared, police still haven't found enough evidence to prove or disprove that Joyce Pelzer had any role, and her status in the case remains unchanged.
I'm not going to leave out the other people, but Miss Pelzer is my main person.
The person who Detective Guest believes holds the answer to what happened to Shawndell.
I don't think Shawndell is alive. I think Shawndell was murdered.
And if she was, he's confident her killer will ultimately trip up.
I don't believe in the perfect murder.
But while the search for Shawndell continues, no news is good news to her desperate, grieving mother.
I hope one day she could come back home.
We reached out to Joyce Pelzer for comment on our story, but she never responded. Now it's time for someone to step forward and clear their conscience. If you know anything about Shawndell McLeod's disappearance, call Crime Stoppers of Atlanta at 1-404-577-8477. Let's prove to this suspect that we are watching. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.